Historians call it the most stunning and decisive blow in the history of naval warfare. 70 years ago, American naval forces began a three-day battle that would ultimately produce victory for the United States in the Pacific during World War II. 10 on your side's Art Kahn attended a Navy ceremony in Virginia Beach this morning to commemorate the Battle of Midway. Art, they picked an appropriate spot.
They sure did, Nicole. At 10 o'clock this morning, we gathered at the Aviation Memorial Park on 25th Street at the oceanfront, where a number of monuments and bronze statues depict certain milestones in the history of naval aviation. The Battle of Midway not only altered the war in the Pacific, it continues to influence naval aviation today, more than half a century later. "307 Naval and Marine Corps aviators and crewmen were killed in the Battle of Midway. The U.S. aircraft carrier Yorktown was sunk, but the losses inflicted on the Japanese forces were devastating."
As the sun set on June the 4th, 4 Japanese fleet carriers were in flames, out of action, and would eventually sink.
The Japanese Navy never recovered, and the tide of war in the Pacific had been turned in one decisive battle fought in June of 1942, just 6 months after the attack on Pearl Harbor. 70 years later, the Navy continues to mark the anniversary of Midway.
By your power, O God, grant naval aviation a future that is worthy of its past.
In fact, the victory at Midway would have a profound impact on the future of naval aviation.
This battle was not only a turning point in the Pacific War, it also revolutionized the face of naval warfare for the next 7 decades.
Some observers say the Navy's efforts to commemorate the victory at Midway have increased as time goes by.
And it is rightly so. For the U.S. Navy, the Battle of Midway has become our Trafalgar, a singular defining moment in our 237-year history.
Naval aviation looks a lot different today than it did in 1942, but one very important aspect of this capability remains the same.
The long-range striking capability of the carrier was demonstrated, and the aircraft carrier achieved prominence in the naval order of battle, a position it has maintained ever since.
Now, of course, the long-range capabilities of those carriers and their air wings are even greater today. By the way, another memorial will be held aboard the aircraft carrier USS George H.W. Bush at Naval Station Norfolk tonight at 7. Art Kahn, 10 on your side.